Tuesday, and welcome to Madeline's Life Management. I'm Madeline, and this is my mom.
Hi. Wait, are we rolling?
Yeah, it's going.
Okay.
I've been reading about some new research that was a longitudinal study done on healthy weight children and then obese and underweight children. And they found that the main difference between those children during mealtimes was that the healthy weight children were having fun during their mealtimes. I want to know your thoughts on having fun during mealtimes, because I always had a blast. I still do.
Yes, it's true. We really had a good time, didn't we? It was a good time. My mom is the queen of fun. So she raised me to have fun at all times. I tried to emulate my sweet mama. We never made our girls finish their plates at all. We just said, try it. If you don't want to try it that bad, just hang out with us, visit.
Right.
There were always stories from the day. We did, what was the best part of your day? And we always had great stories. All of you girls were good talkers and good storytellers. Can you believe that? Surprise, surprise. So we didn't make food the issue of dinner or whatever meal we were doing. We always made the issue gathering together and hanging out together and trying not to interrupt each other's stories. That was always...
I'm trying really hard right now.
Me too. Prayed, and we sometimes held hands. Let's show. Sometimes we held hands, and then
other times
camp,
you rock up.
we rocked up. Explain rocking up.
It's so that you don't have to, if they had boys and girls, you don't have to, you don't have to touch, the gross cootie hand. So that's what this was. Also, if you had...
Who are you kidding? You never thought boys had cooties.
Never. Not
Me neither. I know. You come by that so honestly.
So,
I'm sorry.
I actually want to go back and talk about something that you mentioned earlier.
Okay.
You said that you never made us clean our plate. And I think that's so key, especially now in a very food conscious society. The American Dietetic Association advises not to encourage children to clean their plates. And why this is because in families where children were encouraged or required to clean their plates, there are more taste aversions, as well as obese children that become obese adults, and they have more heart problems and depression as well as anxiety. So in the long run, requiring a child to clean their plate will not help them. And in fact, really overeating is a socialized process. We have stretch receptors in our stomach that...
And a few stretch marks.
We have stretch receptors in our stomach that tell...
Some more than others.
Yeah.
Poor children. Okay, go. You.
That tell our brain when to stop eating. So children, they may go up there, their little bodies, they eat one chicken nugget and they're done. Their stomach has told their brain, okay, you're done eating, that's all you need. And that worries parents because first off, they say, oh my goodness, is my child not getting enough protein? Are they going to atrophy? And really, you don't have to worry about protein in your child's body if you're providing it, because your body recycles protein every single time you swallow. Even us as adults, when we swallow, our body is recycling that protein. Those little bodies, they just don't need as much as we do, and they know when to stop. There's a hormone called ghrelin that is released when you're hungry, when your stomach is empty. And while you eat, it's about 15 minutes for that sugar to enter your bloodstream. And what happens as your stomach fills, the hormone ghrelin becomes less and less and less, and your hungry feeling goes away. So children are very in tuned and adapt to listening to these signals, to feeling the hormones, to feeling fullness, and they stop eating when they're full. The same with babies. They won't eat if they're not hungry, and they'll eat if they're hungry. So as parents, don't worry about how much your child is eating as long as they have healthy options in front of them. They'll eat their food if they're hungry, and otherwise they'll know when they're full.
A lot of parents stress over feeding their children. My children won't eat. They won't eat what I've made for them. It's so hard to get them to eat. And I always encourage them, don't make food a big deal. Don't ever make food a big deal. You know, growing up, when we were raising you girls, we never made food a big deal as far as how much you ate or have to eat or whatever. We always, you know, again, made the big deal that when we're around the table for dinner or another meal, we're around the table to laugh and tell stories and love each other.
Once they start playing with their food or become restless, that's a good time to end the meal and move the conversation away from the table and go play a game, or move it, we call it moving into the soft. And what we'll do is our entire family will move from the dinner table over to the couches, and we always will clean up after, but sometimes we'll take like a little intermission and go to the couches, sometimes bring a little coffee and talk there, and we'll move the fun. During dinner, we'd get up and act out parts of our day, and we'd get up and act something out, and then a sister would say, oh, but what if it happened like this? And they would get up and act it out, and then that would happen in succession 4 or 5 more times until the original person was doing it another time how it should have gone.
It was a great show.
It was a great show. And we were getting a little workout in. Talk about portion control.
Well, portion control is probably the biggest deal with eating. And as a mom, I choose how much goes on the plate. And you can teach your children, you know, this, use your fist as an example for
and a
serving.
weapon.
And a weapon. And kickboxing and dancing. So anyway, so dance party.
Right.
Yes, everything. So portion control is very important. And as a mom, when you have young kids, you can always just serve them a little bit, just a little bit. Their tummies are tiny. Teach them to talk while they eat, not with food in their mouth. In between bites, talk, visit, tell stories, eat more slowly, more, you know, you're not just sitting there, eat. Right. And so that little portion's going to fill them up if they eat more slowly and they visit while they do it. So just don't heap on the portions. They can always get more.
And that's called mindful eating. When you enjoy your food, when the meal is the event, it's called mindful eating. And a lot of therapists are actually recommending it currently.
This is so cute.
For
Madeline, did you register? And can you see how cute?
We both did that at the same time. And one thing that I know whenever we have people over, one thing Mom always does that I love and now emulate, now that I'm hosting individuals.
She's a great host. Just saying.
Because I had a great teacher. But whatever, you know, we'll have this big dessert and she'll serve it, and then she'll pack it up and send it home with the individuals that we invited over. And it's a part of hosting that I just assume, and it's also great for weight loss because you know that if you make all this food, it's not going to tempt you days after.
You've been cooking for many years.
I have been cooking for many years. I started in diapers. Tell me, as my mother, kind of, you know, what prompted you to start us cooking that young? Because thank you for that, by the way.
You're welcome, sweet girl. So I love to cook, and I'm a stay-at-home mom, and my girls were hanging out with me a lot, obviously. So when I would cook, I would bring a chair up to the counter on both sides, and I would have my children on both sides, and I would let them help in any way that they could, be it put in a teaspoon of this or a teaspoon of that. You have to get over the mess. Our dark cherry cabinets were covered with flour for years.
Yep.
Doesn't come off. It's okay. So you've got to get beyond the perfection of having a clean kitchen. I got over that very quickly. And also being perfectionistic about your meals. You want to let your children cook as early as possible. Be safe. You don't want them chopping your vegetables at age 2. But at age 2, you definitely want them to try to stir and to pour things in and learn to love cooking. And this is fun. We do this together. We put things in together. We're a team. We enjoy spending time together. We laugh. We joke. We tell stories. And I think it builds their confidence too and helps them to know that a mess is perfectly okay. Oh, yeah. So I always let you guys cook with me, and I've enjoyed it a lot. Stay safe and be smart and let them cook with you. Let them help.
Yeah. And I have great memories from cooking when I was young. And I never think that I cannot make something.
Love that.
You know, I know how to follow a recipe, and I also know how to pinch and scoop
Yes.
and you know, cook.
You're unafraid in the kitchen.
I'm unafraid in the kitchen.
Be unafraid in the kitchen.
And I have so much confidence in the kitchen as well that it really allows me to explore any type of recipe. Blake was like, hey, let's make creme brulee. And I was like, okay, you know, and we got a little torch and we made creme brulee and it was wonderful.
Don't let your 2-year-old do the torch. But
oh, yeah.
You can let your fiance do the torch.
That might be more dangerous.
You're so right. Guys like fire. Have you noticed?
Yes.
Your dad loves fire.
Yeah.
My brothers love fire.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah. And then they get to set food on fire. It's the best of all worlds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Food and fire. Well, Mom, thank you so much for coming on my channel today. I've really enjoyed having you on here.
Thank you. It's been so much fun to be on your channel, sweet girl. So proud of you in every way.
So happy Tuesday to everyone out there and to all you mothers out there and to my mother. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Coming up this Sunday. Thank you so much for watching.